Hey everyone, so today I'm going to do a video about songs that remind me of people and moments. Now I'm going to include it all here. The first one, it's Die For You by The Weeknd. I love that song and I was listening to it for a good amount of time in senior year. That song always reminded me of like this guy that I had a little crush on in like 12th grade. I don't really even know why. I think one of the reasons that it reminded me of him really was because, can you not? Really was because he liked The Weeknd. And at that time, that song was just, my favorite ones. There's a lot of these that if I say, it'll be a little bit too obvious, especially if like there's people I know watching. So maybe we'll save those ones for another video. Another one, Teenage Fever. Teenage Fever by Drake actually reminds me of 10th to 11th grade. It's just really nostalgic when I even hear it again. A lot of these, it's hard to explain what I feel about them. Another one would be Pray by The Neighborhood. That one, I know exactly when I listened to it. I think it was like 2017. And it just reminds me of rainy days, cold nights. The next one, Mr. Rager by Kid Cudi. Mr. Rager reminds me of literally like 12th grade, my ring ceremony, my graduation. It reminds me of those moments. It reminds me of like the moments that I had in 12th grade where I finally felt like confident. Next is My House by Paris. I love Paris. I've been listening to Paris since I was like in 6th grade, but then I stopped, and then actually this month I started listening to them again because I just really like, you can't really get over them. My House, I listened to it like when I was in 6th grade for the first time, and I was on Vine and I found like a 6-second, obviously, a snippet of It's My House, and then I was just like, oh my god, I need to hear it. And then yeah, I just fell in love with the song. All these songs are very nostalgic. One of my favorite songs still. I really like it. I really want to do a cover on My House, but right now I'm trying to work on a cover for Mirrors by Paris. Next, it's Heat Waves by Glass Animals. I don't know when it was that it came out, but around that time it was like on TikTok. It really does remind me of a certain person. We stopped talking around like June or July of 2020 for, uncertain reasons. I'm always like, hoping and praying that this person's doing well. Haunted by Taylor Swift. So this is a moment that I always remember. I get reminded of when I worked at YMCA for a week. An eventful month, because although I was working there for a week, there was a lot of stuff going on around that time. I was getting to know someone and it was just a roller coaster of emotions. I never want to go through that again. Then like obviously I got the news that I was gonna move. I remember like this song would play, especially in the mornings when it was freezing cold. My windshield were always like covered in ice. I was driving a car that had no AC. The passenger seatbelt didn't work. The heater was barely surviving. I drove to work frozen, essentially. The song would come on and at least it would boost up my spirits. Another song, Hallucinations by Paris. That song just reminds me of winter. Don't know what it is. Christmas lights. I think that's just when I first discovered it. Friends by Chase Atlantic. This is the most nostalgic song for me. I listened to this one around the same time that I started listening to The Neighborhood, 2017. I saw that someone did a musically with that song. I was like, oh my god, that's the best song I've ever heard. And so now it just reminds me of Thanksgiving. A lot of these songs remind me of cold weather and never gets old, especially the beginning. If I only had like the beginning snippet, I would listen to that all day. The Drug in Me Is You by Falling in Reverse. I really loved Falling in Reverse in 6th grade. The one that always stuck out to me was that song. Dancing with a Stranger by Sam Smith. Heart Stained, Wrist Icy by Foreign Forest. That song reminds me of like Aquatica, water parks, summer. Get Up by Ciara. Me and my cousin used to memorize dances. It reminds me of my cousin. It reminds me of me, like of us trying to figure it all out. Body by Loud Luxury. That song actually reminds me of summer. It reminds me of 10th grade when I went to Universal with my friends at school. It was like a school field trip. The ride there, the heat. La Fama by Rosalia. This reminds me of the time I went to Orlando Eye with a person and they asked me to dance. And when we were on the wheel, that song was playing, so we danced like bachata. It was like fun, but also I freaking hate it. So anyways, And then the last one is Without You by Oh Wonder. I used to listen to that song every single day. It's still one of my favorites. There's some songs that you just click with that you're like, oh my god, this is really good. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had a little bit of a throwback moment right now. I'm feeling very nostalgic. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Follow my socials. I will leave them in the description below. Thank you guys for watching. Bye!